Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about something that was brought to my attention, and I have to be fair about it, even though I don't like the asshole. He comes off as an asshole. I mean, I don't know if he's an asshole, but anyway, he knows who the fuck I'm talking about. But he brought something to my attention, and I have to be fair with his, not his request, but his point of view. So we got into the conversation about preppers and how a lot of us, either predict things or say something might happen, and that if it doesn't happen, that we look foolish because it didn't happen. And I'm like, okay, fair enough, right? But then we got into this discussion about, and I told him, this is me now, I said, well, this is why a lot of us say might and maybe, because it might happen, it could happen, to just keep your ears open as to what's going on. Now, interestingly enough, when I got up in the morning, this morning, I said, you know what, I'm going to do a retraction video on the smallpox, right? Because remember that I said to keep your ears open for things to start happening after December 1st. Well, nothing happened. We're at December 13th. So nothing has happened. There's no smallpox outbreak. There's no mention of smallpox anymore for now. Now, does that mean we drop our guards completely? No, that just means we relax a little bit and we wait to see where things are going. With that, now, running into this guy online, right, watching one of his videos, which I don't like any of his videos because he just comes with, like, I'm a dick, but this guy makes me look like a nice guy. It's how such of a dick he is. And he doesn't understand prepping. He clearly doesn't. Because when a lot of us say might and maybe, that is for us to sit there and tell you, or to let you guys know that something could be happening. Just like there could be a blackout. There could be 3 blizzards this year here in New York City, or none at all. But nonetheless, it's why we get ready. We get ready because we live in the world of ifs and maybes and mights. That's what preppers do. That's why we prepare, so that we don't get caught with our pants down if something happens. Now, this guy doesn't have that understanding. He clearly doesn't. And I'm not going to mention his name because I think if I mention his name, it's going to give him the attention he wants. Though, and I hate to admit this, there's a side of me that doesn't think he's like that he doesn't want that. He wants to build this channel on his own. So, with that, guys, that's where the prepper community, this is what we do. We live in this world. We live in this if and maybe world. Now, there's some ifs and maybes that are never going to happen. And then there's others that there's a likeliness to happen. You have to decipher which one of those. And he also said that saying if and maybe and might is a cop-out. It's not a cop-out, dude. That's why we get in fucking car insurance, in case we get into a car accident. If, might, and maybe we get into a car accident. We get home insurance, just in case we might, if, or maybe have a fire in our home. So that's what prepping is, and that's the topics we talk about. We talk about the ifs, mights, and maybes, as well as the shit that's going on now that's legitimately happening. Now, me and him are going to get into a further discussion. I'm hoping he fucking emails me so that I can text him my number. Send him my number so we can have a conversation on the phone, because that going back and forth with each other on fucking YouTube was fucking stupid. It was silly. It's just it's a lot of bantering back and forth, and you can't get the point across from either party when you do shit like that, right? That's why you got to call one another, FaceTime, on the phone, whatever it is. So the point of this video, guys, is because remember when I said about this December 1st smallpox, it didn't happen, so I was wrong. Simple, right? Here's the other thing, guys. We are not always going to be wrong, but we're going to be wrong a lot. And we try not to be wrong, but we also say maybe it might because it could happen, right? I live in New York City. The likeliness of a hurricane hitting us is small. It's gotten big over the last couple of years, but it's small. We don't worry about it here, but when it comes, we're like, well, I was ready for it. You know why I was ready? Because I was ready for that if, might, and maybe, right? So now, being that I got into a couple of discussions with people and I was outright wrong, I'm wrong. It's okay to be wrong. So I know a lot of people don't like to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. If you are wrong, just say fucking sorry and move on. Learn from that mistake. Either do more research, or I guess just do more research, and then try not to be wrong, or be wrong less. But with everything going on, guys, there's so many different avenues right now. I did a video of what might happen next year, and I had to delete that video because there's just too many avenues. Now, I'm going to redo it but I'm gonna be a little more careful of how do I do it. And I deleted that video 2 weeks ago because I looked at it. I did the video twice, and I watched it both times, and I'm like, nah, it was too vague. And I'm trying to get closer to what might happen. Now, one of the things that happened, as you can see here, is the mask mandates are back here in New York City, or New York State rather, sorry, not New York State. So all over the city, now you have to wear a mask when you go indoors. Now, I found it interesting. Today's the first day, and not a lot of people are trying to check if you have your mask. I went to one supermarket and a store. Now, neither of those places asked me to put a mask on. So they're not abiding by this, and I think a lot of businesses are sick and tired of being told how they have to govern their own customers now. All right, so that I think a lot of people are getting sick and tired of it. There might be a little more pushback with the mask mandate here in New York State than it was the first time, but again, we have to wait and see. And that's the other thing, guys. Everything we talk about is a wait and see. All right. A lot of you know where I stand. I don't fucking subscribe to those end of the world dates when they're like, oh, the end of the world is going to be date such and such. No, those dates have come and gone. Last year, there were 3 dates, or maybe it was 2, one in November, one in October. Here we are a year later and nothing has happened. I don't subscribe to those end of the world dates. And maybe if he's talking about those, I get it. But when we talk about shit like what's going on in the city or shit that's going on in the world, it is a might and maybe. It is a might and maybe, and it's okay to be wrong. But if this guy thinks he's going to be right all the time, then he doesn't understand prepping, and he doesn't understand the prepping community. And more so, he's not even a fucking human being, because people make mistakes. And people, all we have on this channel, guys, or in the YouTube community, or the prepper community, sorry, is that we like to make sure you guys are in tune to what's going on. And so your antennas should be up as to what is going on. That's it. We are not, a lot of us, we are not talking panic. We're not talking flip out. We're just saying, get your antennas up and listen to what might be going on and what's going on. The other thing is, this guy doesn't understand. He doesn't understand opinions. A lot of our shit that we talk about here on YouTube, guys, is our opinion on what might happen. That's not a cop-out. That's just us wargaming in our head. But again, clearly he doesn't understand wargaming. He doesn't understand opinions. This guy wants you, the channel, to be right and right all the time. He's living in a fantasy world. So I sort of dismissed him, but I'll get a better sense of him when we get into the actual phone conversation. And Dickface, if you are watching this video, do me a favor, email me at angryprepper@gmail.com. All right? Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, and see you in the next video.